Hey everyone, it's Pixel Cadet right here. In today's video I want to talk about a new game that I'm currently developing, and it is inspired from something that you guys are probably all familiar with, and it's this thing right here, a rock, paper, scissors game. The reason why I'm inspired with this, because it's super simple, also fun, still relevant today, and surprisingly it has a strategic aspect in it. So that's why I'm fascinated with rock, paper, scissors game, and in this development I'm thinking, what can I do to create a new 3D printed board game that is based on this? And yeah, so that's what this video gonna be about. And without further ado, I'm just gonna show you my latest version of the board game itself, and it looks like this. It is a tiny box that has some dial, and if you guys can see, you can rotate the dial and it has 3 different icons: a scissor, paper, and rock icon that you can always rotate. I will tell you later what are we gonna use this for. If you open the box, you will now see the entire layout of the game itself. Here you'll see the playing field. It's a 2x3 grid with 2 rows, the front one and the back one. There are also 3 unit dice here, and each dice has 3 faces. It's a rock, a paper, and a scissor, and you have 3 of them. And there is also this smaller dice here. I call it a maneuver dice. It has a different kind of ability. This one means you can move 1 dice to any other free spaces within the playing field. So if it's like this, it can move anywhere between these 3 blocks. This one means you can switch position between 2 dice, so if I want to switch these 2, I can do that, like so. And this one means you can move your dice orthogonally 2 times. So let's say I want to move like so, or move it like this, or I can move like this. You can spend both movement only on 1 dice, or you can share it between 2 dice. So if I got this, I can move, for instance, like so. And then lastly, there is also this icon right here. This means that you can choose 1 dice and change the faces to whatever you want. So maybe from paper it will turn into rock, put it back after. It will make sense after we play this game. And basically, to play this game, all you need to do now is just take those 3 dice, put it in the playing field. The position doesn't matter for now. Close the box back, and since I'm planning to have this game as a 2-player games, it means that each player needs to own their box with all the same thing inside it, and just make sure that the enemy also put their dice into the playing field. After that, what we need to do, just like any rock, paper, and scissors, first we choose between rock, paper, and scissors without the enemy knowing. Maybe we choose rock for now. After that, shake the box like so. Put it flat like this, with this part is facing towards the enemy, and the enemy will do the same thing, first choosing between rock, paper, and scissors. Shake their box and put it like right in front. After that, we will check who wins the rock, paper, scissors game, because I choose rock and the enemy choose scissor, it means that I win the game, and it means that you will open your box like so. And now the game can start. Because I win, it means that I go first, and what you want to do is basically attacking each dice and see whoever has the most dice left wins. And the way it works is basically your dice can only attack what's in front of you, and the rows where the dice place also matter. Any dice that sits on the first row of your board can only attack any dice that sits on the second row of your enemy, and any dice that sits on the second row of your board can only attack enemies that sits on the first row of your enemy's board. So let's see, in this case, because I win and I go first, it means that I get the chance first to resolve. And before that, if you also want to move or use your maneuver dice, this is the time, because I get the double arrow, means I can move my dice orthogonally twice. And looking at the current situation now, I think because my dice here, the scissor will win against the paper, so maybe I don't want to move it anywhere for now. And because this one has a rock and I have paper here, maybe what I can do is move this rock dice right here and use the second movement to move my paper like so. When I'm done moving and using all my maneuver stuff, all I can do now is doing the resolving phase, what I called for now, because this one scissor sits on the on the second row of my board. It means that it can attack the first row. Scissor against paper, it means my dice wins. The enemy dice lose, and you need to take it away from the board, put it on the graveyard. Same goes with this dice right here that shows paper sitting on the second row against dice here that shows rock. It means that it loses the game as well. What happened after this? After you resolve the game, now goes your enemy's turn. What can they do? If you see here, same like our turn, the enemy got this move one dice anywhere across the board. And what can they do? Maybe to attack the scissor right here, what can they do is move this rock scissor into a place that is fitting to attack this, because the scissor dice right here sits on the second row of my board. It means that this one right here needs to move to the first row of their board like so. After that, there's nothing else you can do. Now time to go to the resolving phase, because this is rock and it's scissor. It means that this one goes to the graveyard. What happened after it's done? Now there is not really a specific objective or goal of this game. You can decide it at this point that because enemy has less active units than you, it means that you can win the game, but you can also still extend the game further. Maybe you can close the thing back, choose a different icon from before, shake the board again, put it back, and repeat the same thing. Because it's paper and it's scissor, means the enemy wins now. They will go first, and then as you guys can see here, the enemy's last dice is in favorable position. First, it sits in the first row, and right in front of it is the dice. It's the dice. What it's called, it's the scissor dice. Then it means that it can attack straight away, and maybe the enemy decided not to use the maneuver the menu for dice and just decided to go straight to the resolving phase and, you know, attack this and it wins. After that, their turn ends and now comes our turn. We have paper here though, and that's something that maybe the enemy doesn't think through, because we also have move dice, one dice anywhere in the battlefield, and it's a paper. Then I can use this to attack their last remaining dice by moving the paper dice to this spot right here, second row of our board against first row of our enemy's board, which is perfect. It's paper against rock, and you win the game. Additionally, I also want to talk about resolving phase in detail. What I'm trying to say here is basically, regardless of whose turn is it, during resolving phase, all dice needs to be accounted for. For example, let's say this is now my turn, and this is the current formation of my dices, and this is the enemy's dice formation. And because I have this maneuver, it means that I can switch position between two of my dices. And looking at it, if I switch these two dices, it means that I can kill two of their dices at the same time, right? So let's say I do that. I switch, move my paper dice is here and my rock dice is here. And now comes the resolving phase. Based on our strategy, it indeed worked. It means that rock will beat scissor, and then paper will beat rock. But I forgot one last thing here, because this dice is a rock. It sits on the first row of the enemy's board, and we have a scissor here that sits right in front of it on the second row. It means that rock still beats scissor even though that's my turn. So this will be the result of the resolve phase. I just want to make sure that it means that whoever goes first, and depending on the position, it will still have some balancing act, so to say, so that regardless if you have two dice that is advantageous and fitting to attack your enemy unit, if you cannot tend the other one and leave it there without any ability to move it around or something, then it will still can get killed even though it's your turn. That's basically it. That's what I came up so far. So let me know what you guys think of this game, and this prototype will also be my latest Patreon exclusive model. So you guys can go ahead into my Patreon link in the description box below if you guys want to print this out and test them yourself. And lastly, as always, let me know what you guys think, if there is anything I can improve, be it the gameplay, design of the box, or you know, the fun stuff like the name of the game, or if you see any red flags or flaw that can be game breaking, let me know what you think. That was it for today, guys. I just want to show this latest development of my game. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.